Well,
were you starting to doubt that you would ever, in any way, shape, or form, get to revisit this material again?
A little bit, yeah.
After the game, a few years back.
Yeah. I mean, we're getting older, and the idea's getting older, and who knew? Sam's making big movies now. He may not always be able to take the time to do an Evil Dead movie. So we're glad that Sam ran into Fetty, and they were developing something completely different, which got bogged down. But Fetty was a big Evil Dead fan, and pitched a couple of ideas that Sam thought were very interesting, and then myself and Rob Tappert started to pay attention. And he pitched a full-length story, and we really liked it, and he wrote the script, and we liked that. We kept liking everything that was happening, and here we are today.
And just to follow that up real quick, how important was it to you to get on board as one of the producers, and how hands-on were you?
Well, I was a producer of the first one.
Right.
So I was a producer of all of them, so it was just a natural that the three of us would be
back again.
And we really enjoyed it. We've had a lot of, you have all these boring conference calls when you make a movie, get everybody involved and make sure we're all on the same page, and the three of us agreed that it was really fun to be working together again, because we always had a really good association, myself and Rob and Sam. So, and now Fetty's the new sucker. Now we get to beat him up. It's awesome.
Gene said this one was not funny in the way the other ones are.
Nope.
So can you kind of compare?
It's more like The Evil Dead, the first one.
Okay.
The first one was only funny because it was melodramatic dialogue delivered by bad actors. Yeah. I'm less worse now. I have more experience now. But that had its own feel. Every horror movie has. They have to make a decision. How scary are we? Are we scary? Are we scary funny? Are we just torture porn? Which thankfully there's not a frame of torture porn in this movie, because I feel that that's mostly, aside from being just offensive, it's not scary. It's bad filmmaking. It's lazy filmmaking. So I hope we're coming out the ass end of torture porn, and may it never return.
Well, what made you think that this film needed to be remade in the first place?
We didn't. It sort of grew on us like a wart, And plus, when you see the chances of making a sequel receding every year, like our hairline, you realize that, well, maybe let's get some young punk here and get some new 5 kids and torment a whole new group, and we'll use our experience from making 3 of them to help guide the filmmaker to come up with a new balls-out movie that will torment people for the rest of their lives. And we think he did it. That's the funny thing. I'm laughing my ass off because I think he did it.
You're not worried that the shift away from the sort of comic?
No, because the first one wasn't funny at all. The first one was not designed to be funny. Just as filmmakers, we wanted to evolve, so we made the second one, and one of the writers, Scott Spiegel, is just the funniest guy on the planet, and he and Sam, together in a room writing Evil Dead 2, they just started cackling. You'd hear they wrote it down the hallway of our old dentist offices in Michigan. And these guys were like, "Are you writing a horror film or a comedy?" They're like, "We don't know." And that's just what it became. But Fetty pitched a straight version, and that's what he made. So, and I think it's great because the way he did it, it's very adult. This movie is very adult. There's nothing really childish or immature or MTV-ish about its style. I mean, he's directing it like he's a 45-year-old man. And so what happens as a result, stylistically, when the shit hits the fan, you start taking it much more seriously because the whole movie's it's like when interventions go bad. That should be the tagline of this movie. Because that's the premise. Fetty has his own unique premise of why they're even at the cabin in the first place. And we thought that was pretty organic. One of the lead chick is trying to shake a little habit. And, go back to the family cabin where she can be with her friends, and she needs to scream and get it out for a couple of bad days, and that's what they're going to do. But the problem is, by the time things get too far along and they think she's only in withdrawal, they don't really realize that it's a little worse than that. And by the time, and then they can't stop it.
So the tone of this film, would you say it's a slow creeper, or is it like about jump scares and the levels of intensity?
Well, it's not racing along at the beginning. It's a pretty strong opening, but it's a pretty straightforward retelling of them revisiting this old cabin and setting it up again and settling in while this girl solves her problems. But then, when the evil is and the dead is unleashed, it's fairly, I would say, relentless. So you're going to wish you were watching the earlier part of the movie.
How many monsters are we looking at?
Well, there's 5 kids.
Yeah.
Potentially 5. That's what I would say.
Where do you feel like this fits in with the pantheon?
I hope that I am invited for the next 30 years to attend double bills at the Alamo Draft House in Austin, Texas. Yep. Show the first Evil Dead first, second Evil Dead second, midnight screenings for decades. I think they're a great companion piece. It's just 2 different versions of this creepy story. I think it's kind of fun. And Fetty was very respectful to the original. There's a lot of... You're going to feel... You're going to put on a nice, comfortable leather shoe here. This is going to feel real familiar. No, because again, the tone-wise, there's no jokey cameo from me as the ice cream guy. Here's your $2 back, Sally Sue. You kids be careful at that cabin. That's not the movie. If it was Army of Darkness, maybe, that type of tone. No, it's a throwback. This movie scared the hell out of us when we first saw it. I'm like, what is this movie?
As producer, what sort of day-to-day involvement did you have?
When we were casting, we were sitting in the room. As an actor, I feel I'm a pretty good judge of actors. And I also get to ask the question of, how are you with special effects makeup? Can you deal with extensive special effects makeup for extensive periods of time? It's a serious question. Like how tough are you is really what it boils down to. And Jane Levy's a tough little chick. She is tough. I hope she becomes the new Ash. I really do. I hope she gets considered with the same respect and admiration that idiot Ash does. Because people enjoy that character. And, we didn't want to put some kind of unnatural burden on some young actor. I'm the new Ash. It just, no, you're not. We didn't want to put him in that position. Just tell a whole new story. It's another bad night with a creepy book that they should have left alone. I have not. I'm sure I heard there were references, and it's all good.
Especially to the book and to the tree.
Oh, okay.
So how violent?
How violent?
Yeah. I mean, I know you said torture porn is crap, so...
fucking violent. This is a fucking violent movie. Yeah.
Can you go into a little bit of detail?
You're going to see it pretty damn soon. I mean, how about a nail gun fight? How's that sound? Like with lots of nails. How about blood rain? Anybody ever been caught in a blood rain? Okay, well, you will on this. Yeah.
Because of this, and because of, like you were saying, extensive makeup, did you have moments, because of the rock kid with new actors, where you had to kind of talk somebody down?
I sent him an email at the very beginning to all the actors, letting them know what they were going to get into. And I was being very fatherly, look, don't party, because you're going to wear out. It's going to be a long, long haul. And we pushed every actor right to the brink, every single one. Poor fuckers. But it's good. They're going to work hard for their entertainment value, and they each had great entertainment value. And Jane Levy's going to be she's going to get work. She's a little hottie, but also really tough.
What else are you working on these days?
Burn Notice. We just finished the 6th season of that. People think I've retired. I'm like, no. We're going to do a 7th season starting in March.
Any other movies? Anything?
Yeah, Evil Dead. Evil Dead. This is taking up my entire break. I should be suntanning and drinking mojitos right now, and I'm working on this damn movie. So I got plenty on my plate. There damn well better be.
My mind is always saying, like, you're being too kind. Honestly. But anyways, yeah, maybe I am. I don't know. But it's the only way to make this kind of movies. There's no... I mean, it's a brutal, it's horror, it's violent. If you go to work every day and you come back happy with a smile, something's wrong. The actors are exposed to many levels of craziness. First of all, the story they're going through, the character have to get in, and all these guys were really good, so they're really committed to their character, so they get into that, so everything that's happening is real. I love to tease them with real things. I don't like that, well, imagine that something is happening right here. No, it's just like we throw something at them and we make them react to a lot of things. So there's a lot of scares that I have in the movie that are for real. Every time you see some of them reacting and things, it's because we're not shooting and they're like waiting for, yeah, we roll and it will do some crazy noise. You know, have this big thing you use, you know, the one you have to make the noise, and it's a big camera, so it's a huge thing. It will scare the shit out of them and stuff like that. So they were in the edge all the time because they didn't know what's going to happen next and what we're going to do. So we did a lot of those things to keep them. That also makes the adventure more interesting for them, right? But it is. I mean, I remember walking into the kitchen after we make the scene where this girl just, spoiler alert, lost her arm, and she's like covered in blood, and everybody kind of, we're wrapped and we're gone, and it's like, where is Liz, the actress that was playing that part? And I go back to the kitchen, and she's like against the wall, looking at me like, are we done? Like, yeah, everybody left. Because they were exposed to such a level of, I mean, just covered blood, like completely. I mean, we did like 20 takes of something that was brutal and violent, and some of them, they were like, nobody was completely broken, unfortunately. but we tried.